Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast, episode 58. I believe we're on 58 right now. I got to sneeze, so I'm gonna. No, I don't got to sneeze. That just happened right now. So yeah, man. We decided podcast today. Comic Con, New York Comic Con 2017, pretty much just ended 2 hours ago. So we're gonna be talking about a lot of Comic Con stuff and related stuff. But yeah, got my regular castmates with me, Colonel Crackers, Pancheezy, Breakdown. Maybe somebody else will hop in here. I don't know. But I'm not gonna really spend too much time talking about what I got. I guess I think we should probably just jump right into topics. We'll discuss what we got throughout the topics anyway. So, which I want to talk about first.
Shit.
What are people the most mad about right now?
Well, if we want to talk
Probably
about
that Mezco Joker.
we want to talk about that, and then we can talk about Mezco. We could jump right into that. Up Mezco review a few hours ago of the Tiger Stripe Wolverine. I already see the comments forming on that on that review. I don't know. People think I was mad or hating on the figure. I guess I don't know, but yeah, let's talk about that. So the Mezco Wolverine was offered as an early release at New York Comic Con. Apparently, they were supposed to have 2,500 pieces, if I'm not mistaken. That's the rumor that I heard through the grapevine. So essentially, they were supposed to put out, I guess, maybe a little over 500 each day, starting on Thursday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's 4 days. 5 times 4, that's 2,000. Yeah, I guess maybe like 20, 50. How much am I saying? 750 a day or something like that. Is that right? Is my math?
Something along those lines.
Sure.
All right. So, I don't know what's happening. You're a robot. Talk again, Fabio. So yeah, how you sound?
Sorry, I'm driving. Go ahead.
All right, there you go. That sounds better. So yeah, they were supposed to do a little over 500 pieces a day, and for whatever reason, they sold out on the very first day. They had Wolverine and they had the Red Skull. Wolverine, if you don't know, Wolverine had went up for pre-order on their site maybe like 2 months back, I guess, and that stayed up. It stayed up for about, I want to say maybe an hour, I guess, before those pre-orders sold out. And they had those pre-orders up where you could order 6 per person. So obviously, naturally, they sold out very fast. And then now here, 2 months later at New York Comic Con, don't quote me on the exact time, but it's a short period of they offered the early release of Wolverine, and pretty much only the people that were there on Thursday, and I mean early on, because I was literally one of the first people to go into the con on Thursday, and the line started forming immediately. And the issue that they had too was that their credit card machine had went down within like the first like 20 minutes of them selling cash, and that really screwed up things. And I don't know, man. I guess it was a bummer for people that were actually there at the con or supposed to be attending the con on Friday or Saturday. They just missed out. So it's a lot of people pissed about that right now. And yeah, what y'all got to say?
I mean, I got my pre-order in. I got mine in a few months ago. You know, I feel like I'm settled, but I mean, if they had that much allocated for, you know, all 4 days or a certain amount per day, it's mind-blowing to me that they could sell out on one day. Like, did they just dig into the other stock from the other days? They just said, fuck it? Or, I don't know. That seems a little suspicious. I don't want to say suspicious, but, you know, kind of, like, weird that 2,500 pieces would sell out in one day. And I'm pretty sure at the con itself, per person, right, as opposed to 6 online.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. That was left out. It was supposed to be 1 per person for Wolverine, and for Red Skull, you could only get 1 per person. So yeah, so you think about it, that's, you know, 2,500 people come through the doors and like the first like 30 seconds of the con opening. But I guess I'm thinking that maybe because they were having issues with the credit cards, that they just said fuck it, and it was just like, you know what, we're just gonna sell through, just fuck it.
Yeah,
We're just gonna sell through. So,
and you know, it's one of those things, Boog, where like unless you've gone to San Diego or you've gone to New York, people don't understand that like there's probably like I want to say 20% of the people that are attending the convention literally only do it to buy every single exclusive any booth has and sell it online.
Yeah, pretty much.
People wonder, how was there 2,500 people that wanted a Mezco Wolverine coming in all at the same time? And that's just not how it works. It's that these people don't even know or give a shit what the Wolverine is. They just look up resell and they're like, well, I'm buying as many as I can of this. And then they move to the next booth and the next booth. It's just how that environment works.
That was I'll say that was sort of the temperature, and the people in line. I felt like that too. I felt like it wasn't like a lot of real collectors that were just trying to get one for themselves. I was right next to a kid who was online, and he said he was getting something for his pop, so he didn't even care about the shit at all. He had no clue about it. He was picking up something for his dad, and he had his friend there too, picking up extra for his dad too. So it was like a lot of that shit. I was on the line with G and Diego Carlo and who else was with us? Stevie Bullets, who I actually met for the first time in person this weekend. Shout out to him. And yeah, man, I was able to. I had got the pre-order, so I was good on that. I was able to snag one for Cappy because you know he's in Mexico, and I was able to snag one for the Beltran brothers too. But I had to obviously really finesse and like ask people to like give them the cash and buy one for me or whatever. But I didn't go nuts. I didn't buy like a whole bunch, and the extras that I did get, it was for other people basically to help out in the community or whatever. So oh yeah, I forgot to mention that they had the Punisher for sale as well, and there was no limit on the Punishers, the regular Punisher, not the deluxe one. Yeah. I knew they had Deadpool. Yeah, they had Deadpool too. They had Deadpool, they had Punisher, and there was no limit on Punisher. So for whatever reason, I didn't see a lot of people buying a bunch of Punishers though. I got a Punisher for Cappy too. But I feel like I didn't see a bunch of people buying a bunch of Punisher. You know what people were doing though? When they got up there and they realized that it was one per person, they bought a bunch of Punishers. They did. They bought multiple Punishers. So you could look to see a whole bunch of those shits on eBay, I'm sure. What's Wolverine going for on eBay right now? Is it up to like 160 or more or what? What is it?
Up to like $3, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
The problem was that as soon as people found out that it was gone on Thursday, the price skyrocketed.
Wow. Yeah, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. So yeah, we'll be we will be doing a drawing for one because I'm gonna end up giving up my one that I got on the initial pre-order. So we'll be doing a drawing on the A.C.B.A. Website. I guess it'll maybe be up later tonight. So maybe you'll have another opportunity to try to snag it for $3 or $4 or $5 or whatever the case.
Looking right now, completed listings are ending at like $250.
All right, so yeah, that's kind of crazy, man. I talked about that. Say it again. Say it again.
You didn't like yours, or you like it?
No. I didn't say I didn't like mine. I like it. I talked about this in a review. I like the figure a lot. It's good, but my gripes with the figure were that it could have been shorter, and I wasn't really 100% sold on the masked head sculpt. But I just wish the figure was a little shorter. It's actually the tallest Wolverine figure that we have right now, pretty much. So it's still shorter than other standard Mezco figures, but the shit's taller than the Marvel Legends Wolverine. It's taller than the old the Wolverine before we got this new mold that everybody likes. It's taller than a Revoltech Wolverine. So it's a little big.
Have you talked to Danny recently about his?
Nah, did he have some problems?
Oh yeah, man, I feel really bad for him. I'm sure you know Boog because you know him just as well as I do. That dude loves Mezco figures.
Yes.
And he said that his the glue, I guess, that holds the pants into the boot came out, and you see his legs.
That to me, he did mention that to me, and I forgot. And I don't know if he was going to try to replace it or what though. But you know what? I think he said that he was gonna try to replace it, but then the shit sold out. But he had opened his figure like immediately, like literally off of the line to look and make sure everything was straight. So I guess he didn't see that issue until he got home or some shit, maybe. But
yeah, thanks, sure.
But it's you know, it's a good figure, but it's not $250 good. Like definitely, it's like yo, the deluxe Punisher, I could see that going for $200 or something like that. Like everything that you get with that, and the fact that, in my opinion, Punisher is definitely one of their top 3 releases out of everything DC, Marvel, whatever they put out. So I could see that going for 200, maybe a little over 200 or whatever the case may be. But like all of these other things going up for those astronomical prices on the secondary market, like Mezco could do some shit about that if they really wanted to. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, the way that they operate is very strange. You know, the fact that they don't reissue anything, the fact that we have so many samples that are like seemingly not near to releasing, and they're very ambitious right now, but they're not making the moves that you would hope that they would make for the traction that they have.
Yeah. Boog, I was gonna ask. I don't know if you heard me. How does it compare to the Series 3 Wolverine in height?
I didn't break out Series 3 Wolverine, but that's a good question. I should break that out because, as you know, that was a very big Marvel Legend figure. I'll do that. I'll figure that. I'm gonna figure that out. I guess maybe I'll post a picture on Instagram or something like that. But yeah, don't get me wrong. The figure is very clean. It's a very nice looking figure. It's nice as hell, man. And if they start to put out more X-Men characters and stuff like that, it's only gonna make the figure better and make it go up more in value. But again, I just don't know how I feel about the masked head sculpt, and he was kind of tall. Also, aside from the fisted hands, the other hands kind of come off the peg kind of easy too, and I didn't really like that. And my middle claw on the left hand was a little off-centered. It wasn't warped. All of the claws looked straight and looked good, but it seemed like it was a little off-center. And the way that the claws are put into the hand, into the glove, you can't really you wouldn't want to mess with it and bend it like you would like Marvel Legends claws or something like that. So you definitely don't want to mess with it at all. So it is what it is. Other thing that I talked about is the fact that I think Mezco needs to implement a deeper ankle pivot on all of their figures, man. It's ridiculous at this point. There's no reason why your figure should be on the side of his foot. Like, you know, like it looks stupid. So they need to do something about that, especially for a figure like Wolverine. That shit should have been deep as fuck, you know? So I don't know if it's something that they need to, I don't know where they need to retool the feet or lower legs. I mean, it's boots for each figure, so I don't know why they can't just fix that. I feel like they're making bread, they're making money, right? So that they could update that, right?
Oh yeah, I completely agree.
But yeah, so that's what people are currently a little upset about is Mezco Wolverine. Bandai, Bluefin Booth, they had the Mark, what was that, Mark II, the silver Iron Man?
Yeah.
Mark II? Yeah, so they had the Mark II with the Hall of Armor piece for sale there. They had Star-Lord for sale. They had the Super Saiyan 3 Goku for sale. Pete, did you get one?
Yeah, Greg picked me up.
All right, good. So they had that, and they didn't have Rocket. I guess the Rocket is not a U.S. release or something like that. What was the deal with that? You know, Rick?
I'm not sure. Now that you mention it, I never looked into it because I just kind of assumed that it was. But let me look on BBTS right now. If it doesn't come with some like elaborate extra piece, then it's not. That's a very strange move.
They had Doctor Strange. You know, they had all the other DBZ stuff beforehand. I thought, for some reason, they were going to have an early release of the Shinron. I don't know why I thought that, because what's the actual release date for that, you know?
It's like December, right?
Is it? I don't know why I thought it was October. I guess that's what it says. It says October on Big Bad Toy Store, but you know, it's always a month after whatever they say, or maybe even 2.
Yeah, I don't know. Like October, November, and December, I'm like really spotty on what the Dragon Ball releases are.
Mm.
But I know there's like a picture going around of like the final retail packaging of the Shenron, and I think that's probably why a lot of people thought it was coming out like mad soon.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it looks like Rocket is definitely just a Japan only.
Okay, but I saw the shit on. They had it on display, and it looked really nice. What else did I see that looked cool?
They had a new Frieza up.
Oh yeah, that looked really nice. It wasn't. You could tell it was not a. It was a production sample or whatever. It wasn't like.
Yeah, because its limbs were looking real floppy.
Not only that, but it looked like it was resin. Like, you know, it wasn't finished. But I could kind of tell that it's gonna be really nice, man. So that was cool. I guess we long overdue for updated Frieza. That the first Frieza that they put out, I felt like wasn't it an issue with like how the leg met the hip or something like that on a lot of people's?
Yeah, one of his legs was shorter than the other, I think.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So like he had like the first Vegeta, his legs were like mad loose, and then Frieza's were just like gimped. It was weird.
Right. Yeah, we had the handicap Frieza and shit. So.
And all we've had since then was the gold, and you know you can only use the gold for literally just fighting Goku in blue.
Yeah, no other reason.
No other reason.
You know what? He hasn't even turned gold in Dragon Ball Super in this whole tournament thing, right?
He turned gold to show Frost something once, and then he turned gold like 2 episodes before the tournament happened, like when he was showing off with Goku, like right after they read. Very interesting.
Do we want to? Go ahead.
Shenmue is coming out this month.
Is it? All right.
Yeah, apparently October. Yamcha is next month. Tien is December. Then Kid Goku is January, and then the rest of the year. March is Goku. Everything else is up in the air.
So that's surprising. I'm surprised that they didn't have Shenron ready to go.
Yeah, that's kind of disappointing. Now
you know what? It might be coming out crazy late in October. That's probably why.
You sound a little far away, P. I don't know. Like I can hear you, but you sound like you're far away from your mic or something.
Oh, my bad.
But we wanna sidestep and segue into Dragon Ball Super real quick since we talking about that stuff.
I thought you'd never ask, Boog.
It's fresh on my mind. I literally just watched the episode we got on the
some fucking episodes.
So it was what 109 and 110, right?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. If you don't know and you tuning into this, or you're not really watching Super or whatever the case may be, I think I've said this before too, but the Japanese version is obviously way ahead of the English version that's coming on. Is it coming on Cartoon Network or something?
Yeah, on their Toonami block.
All right. So yeah. So the official Japanese version is up to episode 110 right now. So kind of spoilers if you have only been watching the American release. But yeah, what did y'all think?
I thought it was phenomenal, man. Like that kind of like casually watch Dragon Ball Super just because they remember Dragon Ball Z. Like I saw a lot of the same status today and last night, which was like this like for the first time feels like Dragon Ball Z in like a very long time. And I totally like I saw a lot of statuses like my childhood friend said this new episode has a very getting off the bus at 4:30 feeling. And I was like, shit, yeah, you're
that makes me want to watch it now.
You're right, Fabio.
Almost.
It was a good 2 episodes to me as well, man. I thought it was very cool. I'm wondering if they're gonna jump out there and do figures for some of these people from the tournament.
I would like some of the Pride Troopers.
Yeah.
Man, if they don't, Brandon Casa will be customs.
Yeah. He just put out a thing.
Everybody.
Great Goku. Like
You said
yesterday.
he just put out what?
The new form Goku just achieved last night. He finished that custom up, I think, yesterday.
Already?
Yeah.
There's some like girl Saiyan too, right?
Yeah.
Girl saying he did her too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did not Kale. What's the girl that
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
Yeah. Great names.
Cauliflower. You know what?
This was one of those.
This is random, but I was watching something recently about I think it was I want to say it was Dick Gregory. Rest in peace to Dick Gregory. I think it was Dick Gregory talking about cauliflower, and he said that you know, they was asking him about his regiment and shit that he eats and why he, you know, has been alive for so long. And he said that you know, he eats a lot of green vegetables, but he said he doesn't fuck with cauliflower because it's white. You know, it's not really as nutritious as broccoli. Like cauliflower is some type of hybrid or some shit. But yeah, that was so random, but I had to put that in. Moving right along.
Fun fact about cauliflower: Gregory did not fuck with it.
There you go.
And you know that this episode, man, I'm sure. I mean, I think me and Pancho were even saying it while it was happening. With the Trunks arc where we had with him in Black, where we were just kind of seeing what was happening with Trunks, and we were like, man, if this happens with Goku later on, somebody on that level, it was gonna be incredible. From the flashes that we saw Trunks have, where his eyes were all whited out, and we still don't even have a name for whatever the hell happened to him. I guess it's some sort of early form of Ultra Instinct, you can just presume, because it was sick when it happened to Trunks, and it was incredible when it happened to Goku.
I'm wondering if I don't feel like I don't feel like the transformation was like that distinct where they're gonna make a figure of that yet. I don't know. Maybe it's still gonna take another form or something like that. But
I'll tell you this: it's really easy to do.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You know what they do if they were smart? They would put out just a figure of him just in that shirtless, ripped gi, and then it just comes with head. Like, that's it. But then it will come with a Super Saiyan head, maybe a Super Saiyan blue head, and a regular head.
All right, that
Just
makes
like a battle damage version.
yeah. I mean, it's sort of like it's already sort of like the what's the one that we got? The Awakening Goku. Anyway,
you have it on your screen right now.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think his shirt was like fully ripped like that though. It was just
he just had holes in it.
yeah. But yeah, I suppose that somebody could just use this one as a base for a custom though. Is that what Homeboy did?
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
You know,
I think he just has a new nipple on.
An image, like the first official image of this new form came out, like the image Toei put out is like him just shirtless. And that's what B Customs based his custom on, because obviously that's what everybody thought that he would do. But like in the show, he has his shirt on and shit like that. So it's obvious that he's gonna like just, you know, chill in the shadows for a couple episodes, come back, get his shirt fucked up, and then achieve that form again. So,
you know, Dallas brought up a really good point. I don't know if you saw, Pancho, that if the reason Goku was kind of flattening out with Jiren and why it wasn't to the potential that it could have been was the fact that Vegeta didn't give him any energy. What could have been if Vegeta had given him the energy that he asked for.
Hell yeah, that could also tie into Whis always telling them if they work together they could, you know.
Yeah, those seeds were planted really early on in this series. His complaining of like, man, if you guys just work together, you guys could beat anyone.
Yeah, definitely. He kind of like he did a similar thing at the end of the Battle of Gods movie where he absorbed Beerus's blast, and at the end Beerus was like, I don't know what the fuck that was, but never seen anything like it. And Goku's like crazy confused what he did as well. So, like you said, there's a lot. I couldn't believe like when that was happening. Like immediately I thought of that scene in Battle of Gods, and I was like, this is the exact same thing that happened in Battle of Gods. And I don't know if it seems so perfect that it was intentional back then, but like, I don't know. If it was, like, hats off to them.
Yeah, at the very least, that idea was something that they were experimenting with, and they could have branched off into this. But like you said, I would love to imagine that it was all on purpose and that it was just to lead to this. But how will we ever know that?
But, you could argue that they did something similar at the end of the Cooler movie, where he absorbed the spirit bomb in the Cooler movie too. Super mad.
Yeah, you kind of low, man. I want to hear you better. So can you? I don't know what you.
Kiss that mic, Pancho.
Grab that shit like a rapper.
Is this better?
Yeah, that's better.
Boom.
But go ahead.
Yeah, it's this. I don't know. It seems like the setup has happened a couple of times, like Battle of Gods and then the Cooler movie, happened in the Cooler movie, but like nothing has come from it. It's like you said, Rick. It'd be awesome if it was like planted from the very beginning, just like Goku having a tail from the very beginning was just foreshadowing for him being an alien, where that's definitely just not the case. He's just some dude with a tail, but they just like retconned it to him being an alien.
Like, hey, can you just give him a tail? Monkey King reference.
Yeah. By the way, he's an alien.
He's an alien. That's why he has a tail. Answered.
So who you guys looking forward to seeing from some of these newer episodes as far as figures go?
I mean, I think everybody wants at this point. Hit.
Who?
That weird American figure line that they're doing showed their proto for the Hit. Like they're doing a Hit before SH
Really?
starts. Yeah, crazy.
That's crazy. I think a Hit figure would be really interesting. I'm just a little concerned about his long coat and that not working well for a figure. Like I don't know how they would finesse that, but I love the design of Hit. I like his look. I think he would be a dope figure. Some dope interchangeable hands, and like I think that would be a dope figure.
Yeah, I think top of the list now has to be something like Jiden and Hit for what people I would imagine most want.
Yeah, how are they pronouncing it? Jiren or Jiren?
Jiden.
All right. Yeah, he would be dope. I like his look and his design too. But like, I feel like you gotta have at least the other two main dudes from his team though too.
Oh yeah, you have to have Topo, and then I forget that fake Beerus name.
Yeah.
Yeah, fake beard.
He looks like a rat a little bit, right?
Yo, hair.
Yeah, I like the fact that they even commented like, "Hey, that guy looks like Beerus."
Yeah.
Yo, I haven't heard somebody talk about Bucky here in a long time. Throwback right there. But yeah, those dudes would be cool. I could see them packing in the twin Zen Osama or whatever that dude's name is. Those guys.
We need Zenos yesterday.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think that I think people are just eagerly awaiting for them to be like, here's the Trunks. As soon as I seen him, I was like, I can't wait until we get a fucking figure of this Trunks.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have been using the World collectible figures, like those little $10 figures that they make.
Yeah. I've seen that.
I forget who uses. It's either Day or Michael that uses them a lot, but I've seen them in a couple of their displays.
What line do they have out there that's like really, really tiny? Because I'm anticipating for when the Shinron drops, and taking some shots for.
Oh, it's Shoto Neo you're talking about.
Which one?
Yeah, the
Shoto.
Oh, the Shoto ones. So those will probably be able to scale for some perspective stuff with Shinron, right?
Yeah, and you could totally pick those up at a Kinokuniya.
At what?
that store in New York. You never been there? Kinokuniya. It's a Japanese bookstore that has a collectible.
Yes. I didn't know the name of it, but yeah, Emiya took me there.
I think he abbreviates it Kino.
Yeah, you know what? You know what's funny? Emiya took me there for the first time, I guess, maybe like a year or two ago, and then we went there again some other time, and it was a guy working in there that lived literally like right next to me, like in my neighborhood, like in the next building or something like that. He's been working there for all of those years, and I had no clue. But
I was with you, wasn't I? I was there with you, right? I believe so.
Yeah, definitely you were. That's right.
You know, one thing that people haven't seen that I ordered on Big Bad Toy Store, and I just never brought it up because I didn't know if people cared. Sometimes, you know, I make posts and I'm like, does anybody give a shit?
Yeah.
There's a figure set you could buy on Big Bad Toy Store. I'm warning, it's expensive, but it comes with 2 little Zenos, and it comes with his 2 big ass guards.
Oh hell yeah!
And I believe that they're in scale with SHF. I know that line, and I'm almost certain that they're in scale with SHF. It's the same line, Pancho, that did that track jacket Gohan that everybody steals the head from.
Yeah,
What are the figures listed as? I'm looking it up on BBTS right now. Like, are they listed as their names or?
I'll tell you right now. I just got the charge email the other day from Big Bad Toy Store, so I'll tell you the name. Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I mean, the Zenos were cool, but as soon as I saw the guards, I was like, oh shit, I gotta order this for those big, tall, quiet fuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. I'm on.
I think we need a Roshi figure. I was talking to my friend who like still hasn't seen the tournament arc yet, and his favorite character is Roshi, and I was telling him just like how great Roshi is in this arc, and like
he was incredible, and his connection to Goku was fantastic.
So good. My favorite thing.
The name of it, the name of the set, just to so everybody has the name. The name of the set is Dragon Ball Super HG Space Survival.
Can you share it? Can one of y'all share it on the screen?
Space Survival.
HG Survival.
Shit, this thing is huge. Oh, it comes with the Jiren. No way.
Yeah. It also comes with a static Jiren. Yeah.
Yeah, and a Goku, blue Goku. That's awesome. What a great way to make fucking money off of this, because it's literally just 3 figures. They just double 2 of them. Or
exactly.
It's 4 figures, but they just double 2 of them for 2 Xenos and 2 guards. So stupid.
It's not cheap, but I just sent the link right now to the chat book. It's not cheap, but I really wanted those guards and I wanted the Zenos, so.
No, I was asking if y'all could share one of y'all share the pictures on your screen.
Oh, my computer gets all messed up when I do screen share, so I just sent it to you in hopes that you could screen share it.
Okay, I'll screen share it. I got it. Hold on. I just popped in the group for a second and saw this picture from Adam. I thought this was a nice little dope collage. This looks really good.
Oh yeah, that's a great picture.
So yeah, we jumped all over the place, but what was like our second topic though? What else did we want to talk about?
You know, something else that's interesting to talk about with Bandai, since I think that was where we were initially at anyways, is that new line of like Japanese warrior versions of DC characters. We have Batman. We have that weird Joker that looks kind of like Drunken Master-ish. I don't know what I would call it. I'm no good with stuff like that. But
out of Batman, or is it
like that Ninja Batman you talking about?
The Ninja Batman.
Yeah, let me see if I could bring up the A.C.B.A. Instagram, because there was a picture of that on there.
Yeah, you know, and I don't know where it was shown, whether it was concept art at the booth or whether Bandai had a panel, but I don't remember if it was Emmy or somebody told me that they've shown Catwoman, they've shown Nightwing, and they showed a Robin.
From that line?
Yeah, from that line, and it looks like Nightwing is like ninja inspired, and I didn't pay attention to Catwoman or Robin because I just cared more about Nightwing when I was reading what somebody put. I don't remember who it was, but they said that they those are going to be the first 5. It's the Joker, that Batman, Nightwing, Catwoman, and a Robin. So they have high hopes for this line, it seems.
They look cool. I just don't like how the Joker just has like just feudal Japan stuff on, and then a literal sports coat. That's just long.
Yeah, I like the Batman. I cannot get with that Joker, man. That Joker is
What
just
you talking about, right? This is the Batman you talking about?
the ones right there. I don't even know the name of this series.
Yeah, this is for people listening. This is SH Figure Arts, something that they're doing here. So,
If I may, this is apparently a new Batman anime called Batman Ninja.
really, who's putting that out? Who's putting that out?
I have no idea. It was literally just announced at the show this weekend.
All right, so there's that, and then
Go along with it.
here's the Joker for you guys to see. I actually like the way this kind of looks. It looks ridiculous, but it looks cool at the same time. I actually but yes, I saw these in person, and they look really cool. Hold on, let me go through some of these other things here. You guys could and I think we've been saw this at like the last 3 events or whatever. That's Catwoman. The SH figure was Catwoman from which Dark Knight movie was that? That was the last one with Bane, right?
Yeah.
All right, so there's that, and there's which is out right.
Just to clarify, because we were just on it. I don't think that the anime Batman and Ninja, I don't think that has anything to do with these, because the Batman in the movie looks nothing like that.
Really?
But it has all the logos for it.
Yeah, that's just so strange, because he doesn't look like that. Like all those pads and stuff like that, he doesn't look like that.
And you know what? Look at behind.
Literally, look at the photo in the back. It's the Japanese red sun with the Batman symbol.
That's so weird, because that poster looks nothing like that Batman. Look, you could even tell from that angle. He's wearing none of that.
I should have asked. Damn, what's homeboy's name? Pete, what's homeboy's name that we got to interview at?
Zach, right?
No, not Zach. From Bandai, from Bluefin, from was it Tony? No, not Tony. Damn, I saw him this weekend too, and I was talking to him for a few minutes.
It's Josh.
Rich. Was it Rich?
Yeah, it's Rich. It's definitely Rich.
All right, so yeah, I saw him. I should have asked him about this, but he was standing. You know how they have shit that you could kind of like pose and play at the events. He was standing at a little station where they had the what's this movie? Pacific Rim figures, the $20.
Oh, we got to talk about Pacific Rim.
They had the $20 figures there that you could mess around with. And those things are really nicely articulated, and they seem like they would be really fun to play with.
Yeah, they put a lot of engineering work into those figures. There's a lot of detail and thought process put into those figures.
You don't normally, associate Bandai or like their high-end shit with $20. You know what I'm saying? So like,
no, not at all. When you see like the coolest robot figures that they have, it's always somebody telling you like, "Oh, the retail's $250."
Right. So,
I mean, I think I see them pulling out all the stops for this particular license, because now that they're in Toys R Us and that's going to be a big blockbuster, so it makes sense that they would want to have that sort of retail presence there at a lower price point.
Yeah, I think that somebody actually mentioned, Fabio, within the company, that it was for introducing it and being more accessible to the American audience.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, and it doesn't help that we know that NECA is not going to get that license back, and that there's pretty much no competition for them in an American store.
Yeah. Actually, Diamond has the license too.
Okay, yeah, that's select figures basically.
Yeah, so Diamond's going to be doing the 7-inch license, and Bandai presumably the 6-inch-ish.
Okay, so looking up that thing is that Batman anime is going to be a film that's done by the people that do the films here, but in collaboration with artists and directors from Japan. So the director of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is the director of this film, and the character designer is a Japanese character designer that was responsible for Afro Samurai.
Nice.
And it looks like next year their focus is like jumping their films into different eras, because they're having this film next year, and their other film is Gotham by Gaslight, which takes place in like I don't know the dates. I'm not good with that kind of stuff, like the 18th century or something like that. So
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. The fact that it's a film is pretty easy, and I'm sure it's going to be accessible for people. It kind of sucks when you recommend something to somebody and they're like, "I don't do subtitles, man." So this is it looks like it's going to be pretty great. The people that they have behind the project are very well known in the industry, and they're incredible at what they do. So.
Well, this kind of reminds me. We didn't put this on the topic list, but there is, the thing that DC is doing with their movies now, where they're kind of breaking away from the cinematic universe model, like what Marvel's doing. They're still going to have that, but they're also going to have like what if sort of movies where Leo DiCaprio's the Joker instead of Jared Leto.
Yeah, I know Jared Leto is not happy. I heard he's pretty pissed off at it.
Yeah, but I mean, the reasoning is like he's the Joker for the Justice League movie universe, but they're going to have all these other like different anthology films that are totally standalone just so they can, I guess that's their version of doing something different for Marvel, but I don't know if it's going to work, to be honest.
Yeah,
so this animated thing could be part of that same sort of memo, that same mission statement.
The film is going to be produced by Scorsese, right?
Yeah, the Joker origin movie, apparently.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. We need that. Really need that.
The thing behind Joker is that you never know his origin. You never know his name.
Yeah.
You just kind of, there's always a different explanation. So it's one of those things where just like in The Dark Knight, you just never really know, like, well, is that really his backstory? Did he really like beat his wife, or did his dad really like beat him up growing up? Was he really a tortured army vet? Like, it's one of those things you're not really supposed to know.
Yeah. So. And even the comics in the past couple of years, I think the Greg Capullo run, they kind of go to explain the origins of the Joker, and apparently he's been around for fucking ages, and multiple people have had the mantle. Like it's like revealing the movie monster. It's not as cool if you say too much about it. You got to keep it. The ambiguity of it is what makes it interesting.
Yeah. Well, let's backtrack for 1 second. Not to cut y'all off, but we talked about the Pacific Rim stuff, and I thought we should probably touch on the fact that on one other episode that NECA no longer has the Pacific Rim license, and the fact that NECA was not at New York Comic Con at all. So Hasbro didn't show up at New York Comic Con. We'll backtrack and get into that too and talk about Hasbro, but they haven't been showing up like that or displaying anything in years, and it's understandable considering that they had just had HasCon before New York Comic Con. So I know they wasn't trying to spend money on putting out display cases and doing that.
Now more than ever, it negates the need to go to that convention.
Exactly. So there was that. So that makes sense for Hasbro. Why NECA wasn't there, I'm not 100% sure. So I guess we could kind of talk about the Pacific Rim and talk about that. So
yeah, a lot of people on Twitter were asking Randy if they were going to be exhibiting in the weeks leading up to it, and yeah, he was saying that they're just not going to do it this year. I really don't know why. Maybe they just wanted to have more time at the studio to work on whatever they're working on. But as far as the Pacific Rim license, I'm pretty sure that they didn't renew it. Either they didn't renew it because Del Toro is no longer involved, and they're buddies. They're doing a whole like Del Toro series of figures for him. So it's either because Del Toro's not involved, NECA doesn't really like want the license all that much, or maybe they got outbid for it by Bandai.
Or when they signed with Bandai, it was a clause that they needed to be I don't know. But if you're saying Diamond Select has it, it's definitely something else.
No, that's 100% confirmed. Diamond does have the license. They're going to be doing what is essentially the same scale that NECA did for the previous movie.
Yeah. Or NECA could have very well been outbid by Diamond, for all we know.
Yeah, never know. But that's why I lean more towards the Del Toro aspect of things, because I know Randy's friends with him, or Del Toro's a big fan of NECA's products too. So it could be that. Could just be. To speak about NECA at the con, though, they did have one exclusive at the con, but it was technically sold at their sister company booth, Kid Robot. Look from Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, that movie
Kid Robot at
the box.
Yeah, it definitely was not a audience friendly movie.
Yeah, that's a nice way of saying that.
Movie.
It's one of those things where you looking looking more into the industry part of it, you know, why they didn't go to New York Comic Con can make a lot of sense. I mean, right now their biggest retailer is on, you know, who knows what with this bankruptcy with Toys R Us. And I'm sure it costs a lot of money to display at New York, having to house people, employees for, you know, hotels and whatnot, having to pay, you know, I'm sure food, you know, discretionary fund and stuff like that. I'm sure it's not a smart time for them to just be doing anything and everything right now, I'd assume. And especially if you just said that, you know, Kid Robot is somewhat of a sister company and they don't even have to be there to sell their stuff, you know, it makes even less sense.
Yeah. Kid Robot and NECA are owned by the same company, so yeah, they're you know, it was just a little tiny like wooden miniature horse replica from the movie. If you've seen the movie, you know what it is, but it wasn't really anything crazy. It was only $20. You get the NECA.
So no NECA, no Hasbro at Comic-Con, but considering that those two companies were not displaying there, it was still pretty damn packed. Thursday is usually the really, really light day, and it was still the light day.
That
but
much new stuff compared to San Diego, because they showed a lot at San Diego.
Say it again.
I'm sure they didn't have a lot to show in comparison to San Diego because they showed a fuck ton there.
I mean, I don't feel like it was a lot of new shit. I did see like a lot of new like companies and different things like that, like stuff that maybe my audience doesn't really care about too much, but I did see a lot of things. I saw a lot of people displaying things for the first time that weren't necessarily like action figures and stuff like that. But it was pretty packed. I think that New York is starting to rival San Diego in terms of people that attend. That's cool. You know, it's good for New York's economy, I guess. I mean, all of the restaurants, you know, they do the same shit that San Diego does as far as the restaurants changing up their menus and the employees putting on comic-based shit, and like, you know, it's like that. So
no, sir, you can't order the bacon cheeseburger, but you can have the Captain America burger.
Right, exactly. So we were out last night. Shout out to everybody who hung out this weekend too. Some people that I met for the first time. What was that? Who's that?
Who's moving boxes?
Yes, somebody
Break us
He's getting underneath the covers. It's really cold right now in LA.
Getting under the covers in a fucking windbreaker suit.
Yeah. He's trying to sweat it out.
Yeah, sweat it out.
So yeah.
What?
I don't even remember what I was saying, but yo, John's been on here for a while. Internet is here. He hasn't been hanging with us for he hasn't been on an episode for quite a while. So welcome back to John.
Thank you so much for having me back. It is nice to be back in the community. Really.
Yeah, you had a little heater. This guy put up his first picture that I saw in the group, and that shit was a heater. So congrats on that. Let's
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't think it's all that great. I was actually in the midst of like perfecting it, quote unquote, but like my setup fell, and then on top of that, my SD card broke. But I have a new SD card, so I'm gonna probably try redoing the shot. But
yeah, it actually blew up on Instagram, so over 1,400 likes right here on this for last week's Saturday salvo. So shout out to you on that.
Thank you.
But I forgot what the fuck I was saying before Fabio got under the covers and the windbreaker.
But it was, I believe that you were talking about how New York Comic Con is now starting to rival San Diego Comic Con.
I was going to say shout out to everybody who I got to see. Shout out to Stevie Bullets, who I talked about earlier. Shout out to I Am Fat Ninja, who I saw in the Mezco line, and who else? Tenacious Rick, who was there. It's always good to see him. Shout out to my man Mike Fleck, who came down last night and we hung out. Todd, who I got to meet in person for the first time, but you know, that was really no different. Felt like I know Todd, and yes, Todd is very white. But me and Todd went up to. I got to meet his girlfriend too. She was really, really nice, and I took Todd and his girl up to the Empire State Building on Thursday evening. Me and my girl and him and his girl went up there, and me and Todd had actually sat down and ate some Cuban food before that. And I hung out with Todd all day on Thursday, and then met up with him again on Friday night. And I met Chris Serta for the first time on Friday night. He was there, so shout out to him. And I don't know, I feel like it's some other people that I'm missing out. Shout out to my man G, who I didn't meet for the first time, but he was there. And shout out to Diego Carlo, who was definitely there, and I hung out with them. Who else was there? Oh, I don't want to mispronounce his name. Damn, I gotta find him. But these were like some of G's boys that I know from out in Jersey too. He's in Plastic and Paint. I gotta look up his name, but I'll come back to it. But yeah, man, it was as always that experience of just like kind of hanging out with people at the con and just chopping it up over dinner and beers and shit like that is always great. That's probably enjoy more than really walking around in the convention center, honestly. Shout out to Emiya, who I saw, of course, and Brian, and my man Danny LeBlanc. These are all mainstays. These are all people that I see all the time, all year round anyway. But, yeah, man. What else is on the topic list? What else we want to talk about?
Did you already cover, like, the private meeting that you had with all of the Hasbro designers?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that yet. We'll swing back around to that in a second. Was there something else, Rick, on your list that we should probably?
Yeah, let me look right now what we're missing.
Actually, if I could interject real quick, I actually got to head out because I ended up getting scheduled for work today for some reason. So I'm heading out. John's my replacement. We're tagging out.
Boom.
All right.
Get the bell.
All right, I'll be listening, just not participating. See you guys.
All right.
Later. Have fun at work.
Nice. We got rid of this guy.
The Windbreaker Master.
Boom. Got him out of here. I think the only other thing I had on my list was the Black Series reveals, which weren't too plentiful.
All right, well, we can talk about that because that was actually part of the Hasbro thing anyway. So we can talk about Black Series and segue into that private event. So if you don't know, Hasbro has, like I said a few minutes ago, Hasbro has not been putting up a display at New York Comic Con for probably going on like 7 years right now, maybe. I don't know. It literally might be like 7 years. So they have their own little private event, and each year that gets smaller and more intimate as well. So being that I had talked with Alyssa, who was like Hasbro's PR rep at HasCon. She hit me up about this private event for New York Comic Con, and basically they had a little roundtable session. There were two sessions. There was an 8 a.m. session and a 9 a.m. session, and they invited basically outlets, just one person per some of the top outlets. So obviously you could think, I guess Marvelous News was there. Actually, Jay wasn't there. He had the Ultimate Toy Collector dude. And shout out to Blake, who I saw this weekend too. So Ultimate Toy Collector was getting, I guess he was doing a media thing for Jay for Marvelous News, if I'm not mistaken. So he was there. They had somebody from the Foosh, I believe, from I don't know. I don't feel like name dropping these other people. I don't give a fuck. But but basically, Articulated Comic Book Art got invited. I was hoping that I could bring one person because I was going to bring Todd with me or whatever. But they made it. It was so like quotation exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Like that. They only gave you a little bit of information each day leading up to it, as far as like where it was going to be and what you had to do and whatever the case may be. So. There were maybe like 5 or 6 people in the first 8 a.m. session and probably another 5 or 6 people in the 9 a.m. session. And you got a chance to literally sit across the table with the Hasbro reps. And they had, you know, the newer stuff out on the table. You could mess around with it and you could just talk with them, just chop it up. Like I said, it was real laid back. It was real intimate. and it was cool. I really did enjoy it. They had a bunch of like donuts and all types of shit for you to eat beforehand, so you could go in there and start farting inside of the room. And
Start looking at everybody like, nah, man, it wasn't me.
basically, so that was cool. And what I didn't know, I guess because I wasn't really interested in it actually still, I didn't know that they were going to have another session for the Black Series stuff too. So they did the Marvel Hasbro stuff, and then they had another session for Black Series. And the Black Series stuff that they revealed was literally like 4 figures, I guess. Do I have pictures of that stuff? I think I do.
I think I saw them on your Instagram.
Yeah, you know what? And again, shout out to Ultimate Toy Collector. He actually shared these photos with me because I didn't go to the Hasbro thing. So these were actually his photos. But yeah, so that's Benicio Del Toro from the new movie. So I'm not sure who he's playing or what his character is going to be, but that was one of them.
His character's name is DJ.
DJ?
Yeah.
All right. So,
exactly.
And then they showed this fellow. What's his name again?
Forlon.
All right. So we kind of finally rounding out the bounty hunters. But as you can see, this is C-3PO, the arms at least.
They also Dengar.
Say it again. Yeah.
Your bounty hunter Dengar.
Yeah, his Dengar. So they showed him too.
Oh no, that's Lando. Oh, that's Dengar there.
Yeah. So they showed Dengar, and from what I understand, they're implementing that new face scan technology on this guy. So the face looks very good. And back to Lando. So you got Lando in the I don't know what you would call that outfit. What do they call that outfit? The skiff outfit or something like that? What is that? Anybody know?
That's obviously the long spear holding version.
You have it.
That's the
Quite obvious.
Constable's variant.
Boom.
But no, just like his undercover gear, I guess.
Yeah, it's something to do with undercover. I don't know what they'd call it.
But yeah, those were the 4 Black Series figures that they had on display, and they didn't have a spread out for the Black Series stuff like they did with the Legends. Like Legends had a whole bunch of shit on the table aside from the 4 figures that they actually showed. And there's Psylocke with her butterfly psychic effect there, so they confirmed that she will be packed in with that. So there's that.
Did they tell you how it's going to stick on? They're not going to put like 2 holes in her head, are they?
I don't know. That's a good question. I did not ask them that. That is a great question. So I will remember that for Toy Fair and definitely ask them about that. As a matter of fact, a lot of people were asking how they could submit questions for the next time that we do something like that. So I think what we're going to do, put up like a Q&A thread or something like that on the Instagram, probably before Toy Fair, and you could just comment and put your questions on, and then we'll just hit them like that when we get to Toy Fair.
That's a great idea.
In February. So yeah, I'm just trying to get over to this Legend.
I would assume that they wouldn't like compromise the head sculpt for Psylocke. So I'm pretty sure that they're just going to mold the effect piece to where it lays on her head perfectly.
I don't know. Maybe she'll come with 2 heads.
Maybe.
That'd be.
I don't know.
So yeah, there's a shot of, and I wish I could remember everybody's name as far as the brand representatives from Hasbro, but I did not see Dwight or Jesse there. I guess Dwight, they gave him a rest since he was doing so much at HasCon, and you know, they let these guys come out on the forefront. But these guys were all cool. They were all pretty. They were playing a little coy with certain shit, but I think that was the confirmation that a lot of things that we were asking about are definitely going to be coming. So, but yeah, they had everything laid out on the desk there. All of the figures, little bases as far as their feet are concerned, could move like the upper torso figure. So,
Is it just me or is he cutting out?
Yeah, that was gonna just say that. Like, Boog, you sound like Boog, Robot Boog.
Oh, man, this is no good when stuff like this happens. Come on, Boog!
We can rebuild him. We just don't want to fix his mic, though.
He's gonna come back telling us happy birthday, Polly. It's man.
Happy birthday.
you guys there? Hello.
Boog, can you hear us? We miss you.
But I guess while his mic is messed up, I believe he has a photo of Multiple Man, and I can say without a doubt that that figure is the biggest letdown of a highly anticipated figure that everyone in the community has been clamoring for. Those arms are shit.
Those
Straight
are
up.
terrible. It's not the version people wanted. It's like they went out of their way to like, okay, what do they want? Not giving it.
It's like it's not really the costume that's the problem for me. It's just the engineering behind the actual figure, because it's like they're staying on somewhat of a 90s theme, so it's like to get that, that version of Multiple Man isn't, far-fetched. I'm wondering if they're going to essentially start cracking out, like, because they seem to be on a very much so like 90s theme. They're doing 90s Deadpool, 90s Cable. They're finishing off the Jim Lee X-Men, so everything's looking very much so 90s reminiscent. So I'm wondering if they're actually going to try and tackle like a full-on 90s X-Force and just 90s X-Family in general, where we get like, Boom Boom and Strong Guy and, all those different characters. So.
For a long time, John, we had a Strong Guy. I don't know if you ever saw that there was a list.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah,
I saw
they had Strong Guy listed, and a lot of that list ended up being true. So it's honestly one of those things where you wonder, like, especially from Dwight was saying, like, they knew that the list was out there, and they were pissed that people knew what was coming from the list because they were like, see, it's Sasquatch, it's not Strong Guy. Don't believe the internet.
Yeah, so they might be trying to throw everyone for a loop. Uh-oh, not just regular Boog joined, Harlem Boog joined. Wait a minute.
That's not a good sign. Harlem Boog doesn't have the authority to stream on his channel, so if he were to come on with Harlem Boog, it would probably kick off the stream.
Oh, shit. Well,
Boog, get yourself out of Harlem and back into regular New York.
Oh, shit.
But I guess what else can we talk about from that panel? It's hard to do it without any sort of direction. But
they showed the Prowler.
Prowler was dope. I really like that figure. The engineering behind like just the menacing sort of look about the character was very, very cool. I love the hands, the gauntlets, very well sculpted.
And the best thing you could get is that new. I don't know if you have that figure, John. The new Moon Knight. That cape is fantastic.
But yeah, I've caught up with everything up until Vintage Wave, and I don't have like Toys R Us exclusives because my Toys R Us is terrible.
Me neither. I still don't have a Phoenix or a Cyclops because my Toys R Us is absolute ass.
Same. Yeah, it's a rough life.
Yeah, it's the life that we lead is a horrible one. Without
and I really want to get that Phoenix too, just because it comes packed with like a head that I feel as though is much better suited for Black Widow from the Vintage line than the head that she actually comes with.
Oh man, that Vintage line head is no good.
Yeah, it looks a little like it's just Mary Jane minus the freckles. I don't really like that look.
No, I completely agree, friend.
I don't know how long this is gonna. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
I don't know how long this is gonna stay up now because I had left and came back in, and sometimes when that happens, it boots us off after a while. Let me try to finesse this so we can stay on. But yeah, keep talking. If we got to start another one, then we will. But
okay, I think it's good because it's still active on the YouTube as well. I'm watching it on both.
If it kicks us off, you viewers know why. Yeah. Oh, speaking of getting kicked off, Spider-Man Noir was shown too.
Yes.
were his arms like double jointed or were they single jointed like the multiple?
You know what? That whole arm situation, the whole arm seemed like a new piece from the shoulder down. Seemed like it was a new sculpt. I'm not sure. I can't really remember honestly if it was.
I'm looking at it right now. It is absolutely double jointed, but like you said, from the forearm, it's a new piece. It's a new sculpt, forearm, like bicep down. It's a new piece, but it is double jointed. I could see both of the joints right there.
I feel like
the thing that's interesting. I'm sorry to cut you off, but the thing that's like so freaking ridiculous is that you'll end up having right there on the table a double jointed figure with a trench coat, and then have another one that has single jointed arms. Like that's so ridiculous.
Man, Boog, please tell me you gave him hell for that multiple man's arms.
Man, I was annoyed by the fact that they said the multiple man was only going to be the one that was one, that it was one per case for one. They didn't even seem like they had any indication that people wanted to army build this figure. Like they were, I don't know if they were playing dumb or what, but it's like,
why would anyone want multiples of multiple man?
What are you doing? Like,
we want multiples of the multiple man.
Right, exactly.
And the craziest thing is that, like, even in their little their Hasbro promo shot thing, it has like the after image of him like 3 times over. So it's like, as a buyer, I'm then incentivized to get, I don't know, 4 others of the one that I'm going to get in my case or whatever. But you know, I guess that they're thinking that the Jim Lee Tiger Stripe costume for Wolverine is going to be such a high seller that they're probably going to double pack him, I would assume. Like, if they aren't going to double pack multiple man, at least double pack Wolverine.
Yeah, don't pull nothing.